I just want to say, you hit a new low coming to me for advice about your disc golf game. Well, at least I'll be able to make you laugh. Or you'll never watch another one of my videos. Sounds like a win-win to me, so let's do this thing. I like to believe I'm an above-average disc golfer, but I know for a fact I suck at being a coach, which is why I feel like the advice I'm going to give might actually help a large portion of you. Because in reality, no matter the amount of YouTube videos you watch or how many times you post a form review on Reddit, odds of those things ever translating to the course is so low. Disc golf is one of those sports people are forced to teach themselves because there really isn't coaching. Well, besides the guy with the empty six-pack in the parking lot with his bag full of CE plastic. But like most advice, results in a lot of shitty form and bad choices. If you want someone to roast your form, I'm sure there's a YouTube channel out there that'll do it for you. If not, one of you better take that idea and run with it. Personally, I have no right to talk shit about form because this is what mine looks like. I don't even know where this weird arm twitch started, but I guess I do that now. So yeah, I won't talk shit about anyone's form without permission, of course. However, the number one mistake I see that's holding disc golfers back from their full distance potential is disc selection. Yeah, it's really that simple. It was actually sort of the reason I started this channel. Well, actually, that was because these people copyrighted all the other videos since I was being too mean, but that's a different story. I've always been the guy on the course razzing others for whatever they are bagging, because you quickly realize how insecure disc golfers are once you start poking fun at their frisbee choices. Half the shit I say doesn't even make sense, but all of a sudden I say one goofy line about your favorite disc and we'll see how defensive you get. Which is my favorite part. If someone is really getting mad about some dude on the internet making baseless claims about plastic, I feel sorry for you, but I'm going to keep doing it. So many disc golfers out there are choosing complete wrong discs for their game. I don't know if it's a disconnect our sport has from the quote-unquote right discs versus the bad ones. And what I mean by that is if you max out at 300 feet, but tell me your max distance disc is a destroyer, I'll stop you right there because there's no way in hell that makes any sense. If you can't get the disc you throw the farthest to full S in the air, there's a problem. And I can guarantee that isn't happening at 300 feet with a destroyer. Unless you put more flex on it than Disc Golf Jesus. Again, I don't know if people hear these are good discs or just don't know where to start. Because let's be honest, that type of information isn't readily available for people just getting into the sport. Most people see the four numbers and don't know what the is going on, but just like every smart human, they assume the first digit correlates prompting the noodliest of arms to grab 12 speeds. Or if they were lucky, a 13 speed in of a strike at dicks. Now, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you kind of like disc golf. So do yourself a favor, and before blindly wasting your money on the next disc you're going to buy, watch a few videos of people reviewing it, get an idea of the disc, and see if it would work for your game. The sport is no longer in the spot you have to guess what the frisbee is going to do, because of the amount of reviews that are already out on the internet. Forget this, free. Not sure who asked for all of them, but there are enough reviews out there for you never to read about a disc again. You can literally go watch a video from an 11-year-old and know everything you could possibly need, and then you'll be sad, because the kid that still has training wheels on his bike can throw farther than you. Did everyone else not starting riding a bike at that age? I understand you can't compare the flights of YouTubers to your own exactly, but I would hope the visual of someone throwing the damn thing could give you a better idea of the flight than some stupid arbitrary numbers. And if not, I think you're doing something wrong. Kind of like half the disc golfers with a destroyer in their bag. I don't know what happened that made this disc the number one thing in the world, but why did he have to stop looking like this? My goat had bleached blonde hair and wore bigger earrings than any girl on the course. Just as an experiment, do me a favor. If you bag a destroyer, take it out of your bag and go play some rounds where you disc down and then compare results. Hopefully, focusing on hitting fairways will bring you back to your senses and make you realize you don't need to compensate by having a destroyer in the bag. No one will make fun of you for throwing that turn you've been saving for your solo rounds. As long as you're getting the results, it shouldn't matter what anyone says. Because honestly, no matter what you throw, someone's gonna shit on it. And if it's anything trilogy, you can guarantee it'll be me. If you're not getting the turn on the destroyer you've been looking for, maybe try out some of these discs. For those getting the early bird special or Innova throwers, try out the Wraith for something a bit more flippy but still can handle some torque. The charger gets a bit more turn, but will still fight back for a full flight for those with an intermediate arm. If you need even more turn, check out the Daedalus, I guess. But at that point, I'd recommend something like a Roadrunner, Sidewinder, or Mamba. No reason to throw something fast if your arm can't handle it. Remember, smooth is fast and fast is far. Or some shit like that. I feel like someone used to say that. For those in the closet NFL fans, check out the Emperor. It's for those people that can't get the fullest of flights out of the Destroyer and need the extra understability. But don't worry if that still has more beef than Arby's, because the Pharaoh has your back. Another one of those understable high-speed drivers, but if you were really smart, you would already have a Clash Discs Wild Honey in the bag. I like the double steady plastic, and find those runs to be even more flippy, so if you need that, there you go. And I don't want to see any bullshit comments about them easily breaking, because I smacked hella trees hard as and it's been fine. One video of someone chucking the disc as hard as he could in the cold is not realistic to normal throws, so I don't want to hear it. Plus, the only person that's allowed to blindly slander disc golf companies is me. I sound more entitled than the people stubborn enough to keep throwing too overstable discs for their arm. I don't know what about disc golfers that can't accept an understable disc will do them wonders than whatever the fuck they think a glitch will do for them. No more forced over Anheuser's that flex for 200 feet. Instead, get a disc you can throw hard AF and will give you a max distance line. Do you need more suggestions? Instead of the DD3, try the DD1. Hey, I know the difference between 1 and 3 inches is huge, and some would say too big, but I'm not a guy that complains about double Ds, so maybe just hear me out on this one. If not, the Enigma isn't as bad as old Discmania heads make it sound, and while we're on new Discmania, most of you need a DD, and might as well pair it with an Essence. Two of the most understable discs Discmania offers. One of the biggest problems I see is disc golfers not getting a disc to hold all the way to the right for the entire flight, which is a crucial shot, especially for those who don't have a forehand. These discs should help that out and will hopefully bring extra distance with it. Quick tip, if it keeps rolling out of your hand, try slowing your arm down and adding some hyzer. Watch as a new skill set is unlocked. I'm hoping your eyes open wider than Discraft fanboys after a get freaky drop, as you realize a whole new part of your disc golf game. Manipulating angles on understable discs might just be the new thing you've been missing out on. Ask every Rolo lover their favorite part of the disc. Nothing is better than hitting a hyzer flip line perfectly. I take that over a good 5-knuckle shuffle any day of the week. I'm sorry for those watching that can actually crush, but for 90% of disc golfers, they can't throw 400 feet consistently. So most of the discs out there on the market are pretty pointless. Everything I hear is you don't need to throw a distance driver until shots start getting past 400. Now that might be true, but I'd be stupider than anyone that throws a Justice if I believed anyone was going to follow that advice. No one's going to limit themselves to mids or fairways unless they are really disciplined. And I've seen it happen before, but that's more rare than someone that I actually like that throws a Berg. The old saying was, start by only throwing a putter. Yeah, I never told anyone that nonsense because no one would ever listen to that shit. So instead, I tried to set people on the right path, pointing them to understable discs that hopefully could get to S-flight, allowing them to experience a disc flying the correct way. Another thing I never did was try and tell people to throw dead straight, because at least to me, that's like the hardest thing to do. So what I tell people instead is invest in a DX Leopard that's like $12. Figure out how to work that disc, and if you like the sport enough, start upgrading from there. I feel like a DX Leopard is the best first disc for most people that aren't immediately throwing forehand. That's because there's only a few things that can happen. One, it's the perfect disc. The person can get it to fly, and by the end of their first round, should get the hang of the idea enough to play by themselves at least. The other thing that could happen is that it's too flippy, and they might be good at this frisbee thing, which isn't that big of a problem, since you most likely will have a bag full of other frisbees that potentially could be better for them. Once people get a few rounds in, they usually outgrow the disc, and if they get to that point, then you can start shoving tips down their throat. Yep, I wrote that in the script knowing exactly what it sounded like. If that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what else I can do, folks. I might not be great at disc golf, but at least I'm one of the few creators that make dick jokes in a video about disc golf. There's gotta be points somewhere for that, right? As much as a disc can help a person's game, I think we all gotta be real with ourselves. It all comes down to form. So maybe you shouldn't have wasted your time watching this video, and you should go find some local pro to figure out your problems. Because that's the other issue with disc golfers. Why do so many of you trust the opinion of Redditors giving you form tips from the 480p vertical video propped up on your disc golf bag you decided was adequate to post? You must be more stoned than the dude that putts with a wizard, because half those incels bag a pig, so there's no reason to listen to them. Joking, maybe. Well, not really. But there's no reason to listen to random people online where there are for sure other great disc golfers in your area I bet would help you out. You're going to get so much more value out of someone in person giving you tips and having the ability to physically show you, rather than TurboPutt69 commenting about you throwing nose up when they don't even know what that really means. No matter what you're telling yourself, you're not doing it right. You need the help, and some poor disc golfer out there needs the $20. Or it, maybe that's my new side hustle. I might roast you, but I can give a few nuggets of gold that could be summed up to a few vague phrases. You guys know them. Squish the bug, pull the lawnmower, write another joke. Oh, shit. I'll give my biggest coaching tip away for free, though. If you bag a destroyer, throw it out. Not on the course. I'm talking about the trash can. Or you can just ship it over to me. Destroyers are like that crazy ex-girlfriend you keep going back to. Sure, it's really fun, but you know it's hurting you more than anything else. Plus, whore. This might have been a nonsense video, but it felt like something I needed to get off my chest. And sometimes, it just flows. Now, I'm not saying it made any sense, but that's not why you guys come into this channel. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel while I'm living out of a minivan. Oh, and if you want to see some of the dumbest discs you could ever bag, check out the video right here.